Homeless in America, Part 2. Resources. Where do I look? Need help? Here are a few places that will help you in case you need it, and a few resources that you can look into for real help. In this video, Homeless in America. 2.
Hey there, I'm James. This is my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Talking about homeless in America today. It's not a typical topic that you were here. I want to give you some facts and figures that most people probably wouldn't know. But I want to go over the issue altogether. Personally, I've been affected by it. I've known people that have been affected by it. And I know that there are a lot of people that are out there that it affects every day. So, let's get into it. Homelessness in America. What are the questions when it comes to this? Who's affected by it? Where do you find it the most? What can you do about it? So all major questions. How is it your responsibility? What is my responsibility? And what can be done? To get to all that, you must start somewhere. We're going to start with how do they get the statistics that they do. I'm going to go over the statistics and the way that they gather their data. What does it say? Who are they missing? What are the questions that most people don't think? And stay tuned for at the end 7 things that you probably don't know about homelessness. So, let's dig in. Who exactly is affected by this? Well, it's an easy one. Pretty much anyone can be affected by it. You know me, I never expected to be homeless. But there are many circumstances that go into this. Said no one ever expects to be homeless. I know I didn't. And I know most of the people that either I have taken in or my family has taken in never expected to be homeless. You never know what somebody might be going through that led to this point. Whether it be economic crisis, war, death in a family, a loss of some type, loss of job, or even an accident. There are many factors, including mental illness. As the U.S. debt is rising, it's causing inflation, making everything that much more expensive. So we're all affected by that. But there are other things that might affect individuals solely, like personally getting laid off because of employee cutbacks, medical issues, disability, unexpected expenses. There's so many people living paycheck to paycheck today that, one missed payment and they could be losing everything. The next day, them and their family are out on the street. And a lot of people are living like this now. I personally never thought I'd be homeless. And I know for a fact that my dad's been living paycheck to paycheck for a while now. And that's a very uncomfortable thing to think about. And it's really hard to go through. And I know a lot of people have gone through this. Especially with the way that the times are. Budget's been blown out of the water by the government. There's a war going on. There's always been a war going on, but This one's a really big one, the Ukraine issue. Trillions in debt. So this can literally affect anyone. No longer can you have a typical idea of what a homeless person could look like, because that could be it. That could be you. I didn't think it was going to be me ever, no. Not until after it happened. I've known a lot of people that have lost a home just like that. Let people crash on my couch. Let people stay in my house. I've had roommates that just, they got down, they needed a place to stay. So it's not just drug addicts and mental illness and all types of nasty that you would normally expect. No, good people go through hard times too. Everybody needs some help every once in a while. So, I'm going to take a look at the facts and figures, and I'm going to dig through them and really try to understand what they're trying to tell you when it comes to who's being affected and how they get their data, and we're going to go over what they might be missing. So, stay tuned. So, how many homeless people are there? You might wonder. Well, as of 2022, the number of homeless was at 528,000. They say this is only a rise of 2,000 people since 2020. But better put, to understand, 500,000 people are homeless, or have been affected by being homeless, like myself. Facts are some stats and statistics on just the issue. And when I say these numbers, it goes by 582,000 people have been affected by it. That's 18 people per 10,000 people in America. So every 10,000 people, there's 18 of them that are homeless. And that's how that works. In 2022, the in-shelter count, and this is how they break it down, into two categories, the sheltered and the unsheltered. But the sheltered count was 348,630 people who were homeless last year. And that's in the shelters. Outside of the shelters, it's 233,832. That's unsheltered people out on the streets. And who is the homeless in America? They're saying leading the percentage rise, Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders equal out to being 1.8% of the homeless population in the U.S. Even though just being 0.26% of the U.S. population. They have the nation's highest homeless rate. 121 per 10,000 people. And rates of homelessness per 10,000 when it comes to race, as it stands, as of 2022, Pacific Islanders are the top at 121.21 per 10,000 people. African Americans come in second in this category at 48.24 to every 10,000 people. This is the whole population. Like every 10,000 people, 121 of them are homeless. Caucasian, and at 11.39 per 10,000 people. And Asian coming in at 4.6 10,000 people. Saying a lot. The only thing they can say positive after all that is the number of vets that were homeless as of 2010. It has decreased from 70,000 to just above 30,000. And I can understand that. I mean, there's big movements in helping our vets, which they deserve because they fight for us. But there's still more. As far as gender goes, they break it down like this. Cisgender men equal 60.6% of the homeless population today. Cisgender women are 38.3% of the homeless today. Transgender people are only 0.6%. And binary, in not answering or questioning, equal out to 0.5%.
Some localities take a service-type approach where they use food pantries, soup kitchens, and other non-shelter services. Social service agencies and non-shelter services. These places require significant screenings to ensure that only homeless are getting counted. This misses those who do not use those services. Sheltered homeless are easier to count, being in contact with government agencies on a regular basis. Because of regular contact with government services, the Homeless Management Information System tracks characteristics of people using these services. Some places also supplement data with surveys. These numbers are a more reliable count. Shelter counts also face challenges. Rural service providers struggle with understaffing, lack of technological infrastructure, communication and transportation issues over large geographical areas. This also excludes individuals like myself, staying with friends and family, children living in emergency foster care or detention facilities, and adults in criminal justice facilities. Counting individuals is difficult. With more regular check-ins, it could help improve count accuracy. Now, here are several things that you may not or may not have known about homelessness. So all this information I have gathered offline, basically by asking Google. But my sources are listed as this, and you can also find them in the description. Homelessness in the United States, you can find on wikipedia.org, usafacts.org. How many homeless people are in the US? You can find usafacts.org. In homelessness, facts to know, and how you can help. You can find that at www.mercyhousing.org. Now, these 7 facts are counting backwards from 7. Number 7, you could fit 5 football stadiums with the homeless population in the United States. Number 6, every year 2.5 million children experience homelessness. That's the entire population of Chicago. 40% of homeless school-age children have some type of mental health problem. 4, more than half homeless veterans have some type of mental or physical disability. 3, on a single night in 2019, homeless service providers set aside 48,000 beds set aside for survivors of domestic violence. Being homeless could take 20 to 30 years off of your life, average lifespans being 50 years. And every night, on the longest night of the year, cities nationwide mourn for the loss of people who have died on their streets in their communities. 2. And number 1 being, once again, anyone is at risk for being homeless, with hundreds of thousands of people struggling with being homeless and millions of others living paycheck to paycheck. It could be one unexpected event that could put a whole family on the streets, maybe even much more. If you find yourself or a loved one who's dealing with an issue like this, if you're homeless, you need help, don't be afraid to reach out to somebody and really get the help that you need. There are plenty of sources available for you. Call 211. Look up the information in your area to find somebody that can help you. Next, there are a number of programs that are dedicated to help people all across the United States. And if the last week in January you find yourself homeless, please try to be at one of these places to be counted, so that they know just how many people are actually out there. So they can't give the people that are trying to help you the resources they need without knowing the numbers that they really need. And if you're not homeless and you understand what's going on, you want to help, there's plenty of ways that you can help by either donating your time, taking the time to get your old clothes together and donating them to Goodwill. Plenty of different ways that you can be of assistance. But most importantly, if you're out there and you need help, don't be afraid to look and ask for it. If you need help and you ask, it will be given. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Next video is going to be on resources for the homeless. So if you are homeless and you see this video, click on the next video. It will help.